I talked to Deidre, and she said one of the things that we really wanted to do is we wanted to get you guys fired up. So you want one of these, don't you? I sell them, but I can teach you how to make one too. Anyway, my name's Carl. Everybody say hi, Carl. Hi, Carl. And are we on here? Yeah. Yes, and it's a thrill for me to be here. I spent about 30 years of my life in Barron, Wisconsin. I'm a Stout grad. Yeah. And I live in Sun Prairie now, so coming up to here is like coming home to me. And I enjoy speaking to all kinds of groups. I'm really lucky. I taught until 2005. I retired in 2005, and I still remember that day. June 5th, 2005 was my last day of teaching. I was a guidance counselor at Barron Riverview Middle School, and I didn't want it to come. And I love my job. I love my job so much. And what I always say when I talk to students or when I talk to people is I hope that someday you love your job as much as I love mine. And it's exactly what you guys do. Now, I went to your website, okay? Because I don't know a lot about HR, and SHRM, or whatever it is. I didn't know that either. So I went to the website, and I was trying to get some comparisons to what I did. It says, you'll be the voice of management to the employees. You'll be called upon to act as an advocate for employees to management, to ensure their viewpoint is representative. As a supporter of both business and people perspectives, diplomacy is a must. I was a guidance counselor. I wasn't management. And I really wasn't teaching either, and I was dealing with people like you are. So I think, even though my background's in education, I've got some things that you can use. Michelle Lean, how many people know Michelle Lean? Michelle Lean was on my golf team, all right, at Barron. And we're pretty close. We're pretty close because we made a connection. And so this I'm pretty nervous because she's watching me do this, right? But you need to know that I started to do this speaking thing, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. I got asked, I taught a certain way, and teachers knew that, and they asked me, one group asked me to speak to 15 people. Now we're over 1 million. And don't ask me how that occurred, but I get to talk to all groups. I do everything from kindergarten to the nursing home, okay? And my favorite group are 5th graders. I like 5th graders because they're stupid. Now, they're naive. Everybody say naive. What I mean by this is they just say stuff, okay? And we have to understand where everybody is and where they're at. And I'll give you an example. I was in northern Minnesota talking, and I was there for a week. And I talked to 5th graders on day 1, and then 6th, and then 7th, and 8th. And on Friday, I did a special thing for snowplow drivers. Same message, just tweaked a little bit. See, I believe everybody has a Christmas tree, okay? And this group, you want to decorate your Christmas tree a certain way. And I talk to your people about it, okay? So that's the way we want to decorate. Anyway, the second day, I'm setting up, and I'm tired. I haven't been in my own bed. And I'm pushing my cart through the hall, getting ready, and a 5th grade girl came up to me. Because 5th graders just say stuff. And she said, "You're the guy who talked yesterday." I said, "Yeah." She said, "I really liked your talk." See, I know, but adolescents will never do that. It's because they're cool. But her compliment lifted my day. You guys, I'm 68 years old. I know I look much older than that. And I always tell people how old I am now because I don't think 60 is old. I used to think 60 was old. But it's the new 40. Is there anyone in the room that understands this besides me? Okay, good. Anyway, so I was 62 at the time, and she says to me next, she says, "Are you really 62? And now she likes my talk, and she thinks I look young. This is amazing. I am all fired up. And then 5th grade, you know what she said next? She said, "I have one problem." I said, "What's your problem?" She said, "Well, my grandfather's 70, and man, you look a lot older than him." Don't do that to me, okay? All right, so what I want to do is I want to talk about some kind of simple stuff. I'm going to teach you some tricks that you can use. I believe that you have to do some presentations sometime. And I have a lot of speakers that come to me, and we have manipulatives that they can use, and we have things that they can use. And I'm going to teach you one right now, okay? This is a simple trick. It's a simple trick. It's the Houdini warmer. Put your hand out like this right now. Everybody put your hand out like this. Okay, everybody reach over and grab like this, nice and tight. Now, this is very simple, and you ought to be able to do it. Now, you guys got it over there? Then you go like this. No, put your hands down, no. Shake them out a little bit. Is it the beer or what? I didn't have a drink. Okay. All right, let's try it again. It's not that hard. Put your hand out like this, thumb down, and you got to tighten it up really, really tight, and I think you guys got it over there, right? And then you go like this and see, I can do that, and you can't. The reason I can do it and you can't is I know something you don't know. Hopefully, I want to learn some stuff about your organization. Yes, I spend a lot of time in schools. I like to do the corporate world as well. So I hope if you like it, you'll let me know and let me know some ways you can improve, because I think we got a message that resonates for you. Okay, I'll tell you what I liked. I asked you to put your hand out like this and you did. I asked you to reach over and you did. You know how to listen and follow directions. And if you listen and follow directions in our organization, you're going to go places. You're going to go great things. Now I'm going to show you how to do this, but everyone has to raise their hand. Raise your hand right now. Say, I promise to help other people. Okay, see, what I just did is I enlisted the power of the group, because there's a whole bunch of people that think just because they say it, everybody gets it. They have never played the telephone game. No, there are a lot of learned people who, because they talk, and you need to know the human brain, according to Mel Levine, has 70 trillion synapses. Nobody's wired the same, and you know this better than anybody. Every employee is different. How many of you have more than one child? Raise your hand if you have more than one child. Tell me that they're the same. Not even close. Everybody has their own combination lock. Everybody has their own set, their own whatever. And I was a guidance counselor. I was in the business you were in. We have to figure out what's everybody's combination so that we can get the best out of them. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. It's really easy. What I did is I let go and I pointed over here one time, pointed over there another time. Instead of reaching back over, I reached under. This isn't too hard. I think you can do it, okay? Hand out like this. Reach underneath. Thumbs up. Come on. Help the stout people over here now. Hand out like this. Reach under. How many people can do it now? Hear my voice clap once. This is not hard. Hear my voice clap once. You guys are not going to be sitting. I don't care if you eat. You can't insult me. I was a sports official for 35 years. I've been called every name in the book, okay? So if you feel like eating or grabbing a drink, that's okay. I'm going to keep going. The whole point is this. That's easy. You can do it now because you know what's going on. And that's why we live. That's what we do. I am 68 years old. I belong to 4 speaking organizations. I belong to 5 magic clubs because I'm constantly learning. And when you're done learning, you're done. You're done. So hopefully we can give you some stuff. I'll tell you a little bit about me first. Okay? And this kind of relates to what you're doing. I started out teaching health and phy ed in Chautauqua. We're going to Chautauqua tonight to see some friends. All right? And then I was a 4th grade teacher in New Richmond. I worked with young kids. Boy, it was fun. They give you presents at Christmas time, though. Okay? Then we moved to Tehran, Iran, and I came home from work, and my wife, we had a 1-year-old at the time. I told my wife, I said, honey, I've quit my job. We're moving to Tehran. She's still married to me, okay? The point is this. I learned a whole bunch about diversity. You understand that the world will not get less diverse, don't you? I mean, here's what I believe. I have a statistic for you. January 1st, 2011, it started. Every day, 10,000 people turn 65. Every single day, 10,000, and it goes on for 12 years because the baby boomers are starting to phase out. And I'll tell you what, you go 5 years down the road, if you have children right now and they're in school, the door is going to open for them. And you don't hear this very often because we're going to need everybody. We won't have a single person to waste. I graduated from college in 1968, St. Cloud State College, and I could have taught anywhere in the United States. They came on campus and recruited us. Anybody remember that? Why? Because we were at the front. It's demographics, people. And you're going to be at the front. You're going to want to get great employees and keep them because they're going to become scarcer and scarcer. Right now, it's more of a game. But anyway, so I learned a lot about diversity, okay? Because I taught in Barron. It's like Lake Wobegon, okay? In Barron, if you're not Norwegian Lutheran, you're not in, okay? My son was Catholic. He wanted to be, or Methodist, I know. Okay, he wanted to be Lutheran so bad because they had more fun than we did. Okay, so I understand that. Then I taught. Then I was a special needs director at Barron for a while. Then I was a high school guidance counselor. Then I was the athletic director and assistant principal at the high school for 4 years. I was so bad they almost fired me. 4 times in 4 years, I put teams on buses to get the games, and when they got there was no game. Ask Michelle. They used to take bets. I would leave the blinker on in the car, and they would take bets as to when I would figure out that it was not on. Okay? Let me tell you this. The point is this. I went from there to being a guidance counselor, and I was outstanding. No, I'm not bragging. I was outstanding. I was National Student Council Advisor of the Year in 2003, first ever. I was Teacher of the Year in Barron one time because I was working in my area of strength. I got lucky. I kind of fell into that. Your job is to get people into that, where can be the most productive, and what can they do? And I'm not worthy. It's what you do, and you got to keep doing it. Because everybody fits somewhere, everybody has a tool. Okay, we're going to give you some tools for your toolbox. I gave you this trick now. Has everybody got that one figured out? Okay, next thing, there's a deck, there's a card with playing cards on it on your table. Pick that card with playing cards on it. Look at the side that has 6 cards on it. I want you doing this tomorrow at work. Everybody look at the side that has 6 cards on it. Pick out a card. You got one picked out? Hold it out like this. Shake it. Shake it again. Turn it over, your card will be gone. It's not really hard. The ones on this side are not on this side, okay? It's an illusion. Everybody say illusion. Hear my voice clap once, twice. Hey, I'm into marketing though. There's my website address. There's my email address, okay? So if I can ever, we can ever connect, that would be really, really great. So everybody say, thank you, Carl. If you're type A, and I know there's some type A, you laminate this, okay? All right? The fact is, you go up to somebody, because what you have to do, it's all about making connections. It's all about making connections. And people keep their space, and and if you're going to work with them, you've got to get to know them. So I work with students, so I might come up to you and say, pick a card. You got one picked? Shake it. Now your card's gone. I put it in my pocket and walk away, and now, what's that guy like? How can I do that? And you have to break down those barriers, and you guys are well aware of that, and we're going to give you some tools to do that. It's not that hard. Put your hand out like this right now, okay? Okay, we got it down. Good. All right, the next one is this right here. Everybody take out this sheet. And I use this a lot in the education business, but I think I could use it in yours. Everybody take this out. I give fabulous prizes right now, and what we're going to do is a math problem, all right? All right, so here's what you have to do. Everybody put the number of brothers you have at the top. I put a 1 because I have 1 brother. Are you keeping up with me? This is not hard. Do HR people do math? I became a counselor so I wouldn't have to do math, all right? All right, then you multiply that times 2, and you add 3 to it. Who thinks they're keeping up with me? Now you put in, and then you multiply that times 5, and now you put in your sisters. I have 2 sisters. And I add that together, so I'm at 27. Now, you can just add a 0 or multiply times 10, and my 27 becomes 270. Now you put in how many living grandparents you have. I have 0. You add those 2 together, and then you subtract 150 from it, and everyone will have a key number. Carl Olson is a 120. Who wants to win a copy of my book and thinks they did the math right? We can't. Okay, what's your name? No. All you have to do is, Rose, tell me. Now watch this, you guys. Tell me what your key number is.
340.
340. Man, you had a big family, didn't you? Yes. Are your 3 brothers older or younger than you?
2 older, 1 younger.
2 older, 1 younger. Okay, and then 4 sisters? How many bathrooms did you have? 1 bathroom? Oh, wow. How about your sisters? Are they older or younger?
There's 3 older, 1 younger.
So you are like sort of at the bottom of the list, one of the babies then, kind of?
Middle.
If you could change it, which would you be?
Right where I am.
You like it. Tell me why.
Because it's who I am.
Okay, so it was 340?
Yes.
So your grandparents have passed away. How long ago?
Quite a while ago.
Really? Mine too, but I still think about them. You guys see what I'm doing here? I don't even know Rose at all. You get a copy of my book. I'll sign it later. Give her a hand. And it's a tool. I don't know if you can use this or not. I think it's pretty cool because it costs nothing. It's actually a chapter in the book that I wrote. Key number goes like this. Hundreds column brothers, 340. Tens column sisters, 340. Units column grandparents. I don't know why the math works. I know that it works. I know that I have had people like that, Rose, that say, I feel like I already know you. Because we're breaking the ice that way. This is called family numbers, okay? So I gave you 2 things, 2 tools for your toolbox. You get ready to go. We'll give you some more. Any questions on that? I'll be around later. I can stay really late. So, all right, small town. Small town. Okay, hey, you're from a small town. How many people are here from a small town? You're from a small town if you know everybody in your class, right? Hey, you're from a small town if you know what 4-H is. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart's a greater loyalty, I bleed green, I love 4-H. You're for sure from a small town if you ever said the F word and your parents found out within an hour. The whole point is this: in small towns, everybody knows your business. If they don't know your business, they want to know it. You go for a walk for exercise in a small town, 5 people pull over, say, "Would you like a ride?" Small towns are safe. In small towns, if somebody gets sick, we have a spaghetti supper. Here's what I believe that you're doing, based on what I read on your website and what I know, Michelle, and my experience with HR people in my life, is that you're creating small towns. You're creating places where people feel they can achieve things and where they feel comfortable. Everybody needs a small town. You guys, I was in Weston School District, Casanova, Wisconsin, about 5 years ago. I did the teacher in service. I had K-12 schools all in one site. It was just great. I loved it. I talked to the teachers. I left, and about 3 weeks later, Eric Kingstock came in and killed the principal. The principal's name was John Klang, and the 16-year-old student blew him away on the Friday of homecoming. And let me tell you what, if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. I'm really tired of reading about this in the paper. I'm not here to depress you, but I'll go back there anytime they want because they're just great people. And let me tell you about Eric Kingstock. He was in 9 schools in 6 years. He ran away from foster homes. He was an adjudicated delinquent. They didn't have a wash machine at home, so his clothes stunk, so no one wanted to sit by him. That's not an excuse to kill the principal. But Eric Kingstock was tried as an adult. He'll be in prison until he's 52. And from prison, he said the following. He said, my worst day in prison is better than the best day I ever had at home or school. And he went in with a 4th grade reading level. And in schools, we're trying to close the gap, okay? Common Core and all that stuff. 4th grade reading level, after 2 years, it's up to 10th. See, it has nothing to do with the quality of the teaching. It has everything to do with the quality of the small town that kids are living in now. And I'm not here to depress you, but you guys are in the business. If your company's going to flourish, that's got to be a small town where people feel like they want to be and be involved. And we'd like to be able to give you some tools for that. This is my small town right here. You guys know where this is. I have to show people. It's Barron, Wisconsin. We got 3,127 people. We have 1 stoplight. It's right there. Now, I grew up in Minneapolis. Now, don't get up and leave. I'm not a Packer fan, okay? But they sent me over here for 30 years to try to resurrect what's going on. You guys, Cheeseheads? Lambeau Leap? This is crazy stuff. No, don't get offended, okay? But the whole point is this. The whole point is this. There's a pride in Wisconsin that doesn't exist other places. And even though I'm not completely a Wisconsinite, although I'm pretty much now, it's just amazing. We have great roads, great schools, great things because there's that kind of pride. And like there's Green Bay and there's Milwaukee, and then I live in Madison right now, okay? And there's 4 reasons why I moved from Barron to Madison when I retired. Hang on to this. Reason 1 is Ruby Luella. If I would have known grandkids were this much fun, I would have been nicer to my kids. I got to give credit. That's a Zig Ziglar joke, okay? I stole it from him. Okay, then we have Jackson Carl. What's my name? What's my name? What's his middle name? My daughter did that because she knows I'll pay for his college education. I have a smart daughter. Now she's got Mason Arthur, and guess what? The other grandfather's name's Arthur. I have the smartest daughter in the world, okay? And now we have Avery, Ontario, and the kid loves to eat. Here's the whole thing. All my grandparents came over on boats. On my dad's side, they came from Sweden. They didn't even speak English. They had nothing. On my mom's side, they came from Scotland, and they had nothing either. They spoke a little bit of English. But the whole point is, they worked so hard that I could have a great life. I don't know have you heard this when you were growing up, but for me it was, you're going to college, you're going to do better than me. How many people remember that? You're going to do better than me. I heard that over and over, and we're going to make sure that you do better than me. And my grandkids, they're 5 and 8 right now. I got to change the pictures, but 2 of them are 8 and 2 of them are 5. But I'm not going to be around probably when they grow up. And the world you guys have to create a world for them. Because I won't be here. Now, you better be good, okay? You guys better be good, because if you're not, I'm going to come and get you. You understand? Now, what I want to do is this. I want to give you a test. I'll start a commercial. You finish it, okay? Silly rabbit tricks are, you know that, right? They teach that at South? Okay, at Eau Claire. How about this one? I wish I were an Oscar Mayer. Do you really? See, the reason that we know that, it was taught to us, okay? And the human brain has 70 trillion synapses. That's not going to get you in Harvard, okay? That you wish you were an Oscar Mayer winner. That's not going to, that's not going to be on the SATs. But the whole point is, there's lots of stuff in our head that doesn't make much sense. My dad died of lung cancer. I absolutely despise smoking. I despise it. I'd have my dad, I might even have my dad today had he not smoked. That's what the doctors told me. Took about 15 years off his life, they figured. When I was growing up, all commercials were cigarette commercials. I hate smoking, but I'd walk a mile for a Camel. And I know that Wistons taste good like a cigarette should. And LSFMC means Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And call for Philip Morris. Why do I know that? They put that in my head. And what we have to do is we want our company to be as good as it could be. We have to put great stuff in their head. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a commercial right now, and you'll know it before you leave because I'll get you to say it 6 times, and she's even going to help me with a $100 magic trick if you do a good job on it, okay? Fact is, you guys are good. You're here because you're good. You have your job because you're good. It's a competitive market today. What you do is you always try to get better. You cannot slide back because in the end, you want to be your best, all right? So the commercial goes good, better, best, never let it rest till you're good is better and better is best. How many people know that? You will all know it before you leave because I'll get you to say it 6 times. There's 4 verses. First verse, I say good, better, you say best. Good, better? Now, see, that's pretty sick, okay? You got to do better than that. How many people have read Good to Great by Jim Collins? You're an HR person and you haven't read this book? You go get it. Jim Collins studies great businesses, great schools, and what he finds is this. He studies what makes a great one, what makes it a good one. And the great ones are led by level 5 leaders. Level 5 leaders have 2 characteristics. Characteristic number 1 is they have professional will. They will work until the job's done. How many of you have ever stayed late because your job wasn't done? How many of you have thought about your work when you got up in the morning? You know, let's see. The second characteristic is personal humility. You guys are in the same business I was in, and it's not about you. It's not about you. Harry Truman said you can accomplish a lot if you don't care who gets the credit. Sir Isaac Newton won an award. They said, how did you do it? He said, I stood on the shoulders of giants. It's all about lifting people up, and that's what we do. But in Collins' book, you know what else he says? He says that good's the enemy of great. You please read this book. It is so good. He also wrote Built to Last. He does all kinds of workshops. It's a really good one. But let's do it again. Good, better. Come on. Good. You're not going to see the $100 magic. Good, better. Good, better. Never be satisfied with good. Never be satisfied with good. Second verse, I say, never let it, you say rest. Never let it? Rest. Never let it? Rest. Third verse, I say, till your good is, and you say better. Till your good is? Better. Till your good is? Better. And the last verse, and your better is best. And here's a real important point for you. People shouldn't strive to be the best. They should strive to be their best. There's a whole lot of difference. Your best is different than mine. And what you do is you have to help them figure out what their best is and then move them toward it. That's your job. Good, better. Best. Good, better. Best. Come on. Good, better. Best. Never let it. Best. Till your good is, better. And your better is. Best. Let's go real fast. Good, better. Never let it. Till your good is. Let's go real slow. Real slow. Good, better. Best. Never let it. Best. Till your good is. Better is. Best. Okay, $100 magic trick. Caitlin was going to think of a card, okay? Caitlin, I think it's this card right here. Caitlin, I went to Jeff McBride's magic school. He was the outstanding illusionist in the world that year in Vegas. It cost me $1,000 to spend 7 hours with the best magician in the world, illusionist that year. And I didn't get a raise in pay. I didn't move up on the salary schedule. I did it because I wanted to get better at magic. But we worked on mentalism, you know, reading people's minds. I'm really good at it. I'm in your head, you guys. It's real scary. I got to tell you that right now. Caitlin's from Sun Prairie, too. That was kind of neat. Caitlin, tell everybody what your card is, because it will be this card. I've sent it to you now, okay? Tell everybody what your card is.
It's a 9 of spades.
What?
9 of spades.
9 of spades is right there. You know what a 5th grade boy said? He said, you paid $100 for that. And he would be right, because if this is all I did, it's only good. And I got to tell you what, guys, good's not good enough. Good's not good enough in anything that you do if you want your company to succeed, if you want your people to grow. Now, we're going to make this better, Caitlin. I'm going to show this. This is parts of all cards. There's the ace of spades. You can see that one. Don't use that one. They'll think we set it up. Pick one out, card and suit, lock it in your memory bank. We're going to make this better. Got one picked out?
Yes.
Okay, card and suit. Wouldn't this trick be better if the next card I pull out of here is your card? Would it be better? Give me a drum roll right now. Stop. It is her card. It gets better. It gets better. Caitlin, what was your card? No kidding. I knew you were going to pick the 2 of hearts. Okay. That trick had 3 levels to it. First level, Second level, kind of funny. Last level was wow. I want you to have a wow life. I want you to have a wow career. I can spell wow. I can spell wow backwards. It's all about wow. It's good, better? Good, better. Never let it. So your good is? Better is? Okay, and we want to do that. It's important that we have fun, all right? It's important we have fun. I'm going to give you a test right now. And by the way, anything that I say is usually in my books, or if I sell enough books, my wife can give up her paper route, okay? No, but I don't care if you ever buy a book, but if you want one of the activities or something you want, I can just send you that. All you do is email me and I'll send it to you. Likewise, if you want some of my PowerPoint slides. I just did Minneapolis Public Schools, Ed, Minnesota. This lady said, send me everything you did. I wrote her back. I said, you got to get specific, okay? But yeah, I would share anything with you ever that you wanted, okay? I think you'll like this next one if you use PowerPoints at all. We're going to give you a test right now, and if you pass this test, you can be successful. And then we're going to show you your fabulous prize, okay? If you don't pass it, you don't get to go home. We got to stay here and I got to have a remedial session, okay? All right, so you can't work together. It's a test, all right? And there's 7 questions. First question, you got to name the incomplete animal listed drawing. Don't say it out loud. Okay, you guys, it's a pig, all right? Question 2, can you get through the maze? Question 3, can you find the word in this word search? Question 4, could you find the panda in the pickup truck? Question 5, which one's different? Question 6, if you had to, could you connect the dots? And question 7, which is bigger, the pineapple or the pea? I have a guidance counselor friend named Rod Weimer that says this is a Viking fan's intelligence test. He's not my friend. No, that's not true. The whole point is this. It's being successful in what we do is simple, but it's hard work. It's hard work. People are complex. And to take the time to understand them is really something that's a valued skill. It's valued to your organization as well. So it's important that we have fun. And then we're going to learn, all right? I'm going to show you this right now. There are 6 stages of group development, okay? And every group goes through this. I don't care what group you're in. Your company goes through this, whatever. First stage is forming. You get together and you form your group. And you get the rules. The second stage is norming. We check each other out. Can I work with you? Can I work with you? As I'm doing this room right now, I'm starting to pick out some people that I know that I connect with. It's a chemistry kind of thing. So we check each other out. We've also seen, man, I might not be able to work with that person because of the way I feel about them. And then you get to this, and you've all been here. You've all been here. And if you try to go ahead at this point, your company's not going anywhere, nothing's happening, nothing good will happen. So you got to get beyond this, all right? So we're going to have you do an exercise right now. They have some pads of paper. No, we'll use this right here, okay? Take your sheet of paper. We're going to do this really quickly. Take your sheet of paper. We're going to use the blank side. Fold it over. This is one I would do with your company if you had me come and do a training. Fold it in half like that, okay? Then take it and fold it in half again. If you like metaphors, I call that the hot dog bun, okay? Now, here's what I want you to do now. I want you to take this and fold it in half, like that. So you end up this little package right here. And if you open it up, let's see, I've got 2, 4, 6, I got 8 squares in. Does everybody have 8 squares? Number your squares right now. Put a number in each corner of each square. If I had a group that wasn't getting along, we would do this. If I had a group that I had to bring together, we would do this. It's called 12 squares. We're going to do it with 8. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is this. I'm going to say go, and what I want you to do is I want you to go around. I want you to interview people. You ask them questions like, what's your name?
Carrie.
Carrie. Is that C-A-R-R-I-E?
C-A-R-I.
K-R. Oh, I like that. Okay, Carrie. Carrie, I'm going to put my dollar sign here because if you won the lottery, what would you do with the money first? Pay off college. And then she asked me a question. And you move to somebody else. And what you want to do is, can you guys get to 6 people in about a minute and a half? We'll see. Now, what's important is this. If someone else comes and asks you, what would you have done if you won the lottery? You have to say it's already been asked because we're going to share this at the end. And you have to be able to say that it's already been asked because I don't want everyone to ask you the same question. You can ask the same question of everybody. You can ask a different question of everybody. It's just up to you. Now, when I'm working with adolescents, I okay the questions. I want to make sure that they're appropriate. Oh, come on. What's your bra size? There's 2 things about that. Number one, the girl that got asked doesn't think it's funny because she's threatened by that. Number 2, what's going on in school that you allow that kind of stuff? You see, with adolescents, if you're going to work with a youth group, you make sure the questions are, it's important that it's safe. But basically, I want you to get out of your chair for about 2 minutes, and I want you to go around and interview people. Ask me, wait, watch this. Carrie, put Carl. Carl. Now watch this. Carrie, now you have to indicate what question it is. What are you going to ask me?
Do you like the Badgers?
Yes, I do. I like the Badgers. Those games are fun.
Yeah.
Those games are fun. Okay, ready, set, go. Go around and interview people right now.
I only got 4.
Now, had you been like a mouse in the corner, you would see what happened to the feeling in this room. You had this warmness that overcomes you. We get people involved. If I were doing this as a training and I was directing it, I'm going to look for the people that are having a hard time getting involved. I'm not playing the game. I'm making sure that those people get involved. I'm going to be observing what's going on. I'm facilitating. I'm not teaching. You understand? It's a huge difference. But in the end, what you do, this works for a group of 20, 25. What I do is I say this. What's your name? Melissa. Who talked to Melissa? Raise your hand. What did we learn about Melissa? Tell us.
Can't remember. She talked fast.
What? We know that she talks fast. What else? Likes bananas. What else? Likes volleyball. And you'd put every person on stage like that. Then I would collect these, and I'd have some pop quizzes later on, maybe at lunch. You're in for the fabulous prizes if you can tell me who likes volleyball. See, what I want to do is I want to build that. Because see, if you get by storming, then you get to conforming. Okay, we're going to work together. Maybe we don't, we're not going to take each other to prom, but we're going to work together. And then once in a while, you get to that stage where you're performing. You go to state or something. You don't stay there very long. But you want to toggle back and forth between conforming and performing. That's where you want your group to be. And if it gets to storming, you better put on the brakes and find. I got hours of activities if you want them that you can use to bring people together. That's what I do. All right. And then when you retire, you go to termination, right? And that's the last one. But stages of group development. This is something for you because some of you do present. All right. And you can get this slide from me. I'm Catholic. Is anyone else Catholic in here besides me? What you need to know is that. I'm ADHD. Does everybody understand that? Everything I say makes perfect sense to me. The whole point is I like going to church. I like going to church because it's one time in the week when I don't get to talk. I have to sit there and listen, and I have to meditate, and it's really good for me. I like the music. I never get the message, though, okay? Except, let me tell you what happened. We had a priest that died in Barron, and they brought in Father Gerard right out of the seminary. Gerald Wilger, he's now in Medford. This guy is amazing. Because see, he used squeams. And the most ADD person in the group I started to take notes on his homilies. Now, if you know anything about the Catholic Church, if they're any good, they got to move them. so Father Gerard, we love him in Barron. They move him to Medford, and we get Father Joe. I like Father Joe. Father Joe and I play golf. I used to teach CCD to 8th graders on Wednesday night. The people like her would just torment me. And you know what? My kids will never say that they liked it, but I know they learned because of the way I taught it. Anyway, I'd go over to the rectory afterwards, and we're drinking the Merlot, okay? And he knows that I'm a speaker now, and he says, Carl, I have a new homily I'm going to use this week, and I want you to tell me what you think of it, because I'm a speaker now. And I couldn't be honest with him, because I knew he worked hard on it. And he came to church, and he read it to us. Guys, I'm looking at my watch. I'm fidgeting around. You cannot afford to be Father Joe. You cannot afford. If you want to get your point across to people, you have to be a Father Gerard. And you can't do it like him, or you can't do it like me. Everyone does it their own way. But you need to use squeams. S stands for stories. You need to be a storyteller. You got to tell 3 kinds of stories. First kind of story has to be about you. This is how I came up through the ranks. This is what I did. You have to humanize yourself to whatever group that you've got. Second kind of story has to be about them. Someone in the company who's moved ahead and it was just like you, John. Now John's the CEO. I don't know, whatever. They've got to be able to get their arms around somebody that they can actually relate to. And the third type of story has to be about people they know of, but they don't know. And you have to be really careful. These are like famous people because we didn't know Tiger Woods, did we? I'll give you one you can use. Oprah Winfrey. This one's pretty safe. You need to have a toolbox where you can pull stories out of, okay? I can go for hours telling you stories, all right? But Oprah Winfrey had this tough life. She graduates from college, interviews probably with some HR person at a TV station. She gets a job. They offer her a job as a weather girl. They said, now you've got the job. We're going to change your name to Susie. She said, I'm Oprah. If I can't be Oprah, I don't want your job. Why is she successful? Because she believes in herself. And we need people that believe in themselves, don't we? Okay, so stories. Then you need quotes or quotations. You should have them posted. Hey, it's not failure to try and fail and try and fail and try and fail and try and fail. There's only failure to try and fail to try again. John Maxwell, Leadership 360. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow will come. Today's a gift. That's why we call it the present. Kung Fu Panda, okay? I don't care where you get it. You've got to, you guys, I tell you what I do. I'm in your business. If I see a quote, I put it on a 3x5 card and it's right there in my back pocket and I keep flashcarding it until I own it and I can use it. I can do 6 hours of quotes if you want me to. No, because they just work. They just work. There's a reason why we do that. All right, then you need examples and analogies, all right? Because not all people think the same. We have people that think spatially. Stephen Jobs, Bill Gates, Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison. See, we have those people in our life right now. They got C's. They should have got A's because they didn't turn their homework in. I have one for you right now. How many people have seen Stephen Jobs' Stanford graduation speech? You guys need me around here a lot. I got to tell you this right now. No, I want you to go home and YouTube takes 17 minutes to see that. It's supposedly the best graduation speech that's ever been given. It's rated in the top of graduation speeches, and he talks about his life. He talks about how he got fired from Apple and what a good thing that was because he created Pixar. He talks about his health problems. It is amazing. I'm telling you what, if I was in your case, if we had an employee meeting, they'd see that. Because he talks about excellence and why Apple's done what it's done. But the whole point is they get C's. You need to have examples and analogies. They will shut you off and you won't get to them. Then you need metaphors, more metaphors. They still work. They work. The greatest teacher there ever lived, supposedly, is Jesus Christ. Did he use metaphors? How about a camel through the eye of a needle? How about a mustard seed? I've been to Jerusalem. A mustard tree is huge from a tiny seed like that. And then you need to use statistics. 10,000 people every day. You need to use statistics. See, you need to have squeams in presentations that you make. You guys, I sat down on the way here, 3-hour ride. I went through the whole presentation and I made sure, have I told some stories? Have I used some statistics? Examples. You need to be able to do that, okay? So squeams work. All right, we got to get you going with statistics. All right, so I want to keep going here. Inspiration. Now I want you to see this, and this is one I want you to, this is called lollipop moments because it's what you do. It's a TED Talk. How many people are familiar with TED Talks? Boy, you guys need me really bad. I'm telling you that. I want you to look at this. It's called Lollipop Moments. It's about 11 minutes long, maybe. Because this is what you do. Drew Dudley. You know, the amazing thing about this, that's free. You go to the internet, you can get that, and you can use it. You have resources that you can use forever. And you guys, I believe, you do all this stuff with benefits and all that kind of stuff. That's important. It's time consuming. That's the easy part of the job. The hard part of the job is lifting people up. The hard part is understanding people. And you are in the business of creating lollipop moments. I'll give you two. I was the golf coach. Michelle and I started the golf team at Barron Schools. First year we had some girls that got cut from the volleyball team. And I remember Michelle shooting 72 and 9 holes and crying in my arms where my t-shirt got all wet, okay? I can still remember that. But the next year we went to state because we just didn't want to be good. We wanted to be the best we could be. We went to state and it was a wonderful experience. These 5 girls worked their head off. They got to state and then when it was all over we drove home, and this time of year, you get home, it's dark. I dropped everybody off and then I brought the van to my house because all girls do is eat. That's one thing I learned. So there's food all over there's food all over the place, and I'm cleaning it out. I'm there at my home, and I'm really tired because I had to drive, and I'm a lousy driver. She knows that. And as I'm cleaning it out, I'll never forget this as long as I live. As I'm cleaning it out, I see the car lights coming around and pull into my yard, and it's Michelle. And she came up to me, she said, "I need a hug." And then she left. I'll never forget that hug. I'll never forget that hug. She probably forgot about it, but I'll never forget it because of what it meant to me. And what, yeah, I'm going to start to cry if I get going. I'll give you one more. See, here's what I believe. An older teacher taught me this once, and I tried to do it 2 times a week for the rest of my career. He said, if you see somebody doing something well, And they don't have to have recreated the world. They might have picked up a piece of paper. I don't know. What you do is you corner them, you look them in the eye, and you say 5 words. You say, I am proud of you. You guys, it is so powerful. It is so powerful. Or you should be proud of yourself. You recognize their worth, and you have the power to do that. I'll give you an example. We went on a 15-day trip to Europe, and my wife's not a morning person. She stays up till 2 in the morning. She's getting the house all ready. She's just this fantastic lady. She lives with me. I love her to death. I don't know how she does it. But what we soon learned on this 15-day to Europe is you're up at 5 in the morning. You got to get your suitcases outside of the room. And the pace was, after 3 days, I could tell that she was really down. So from that point on, I said, I'm going to be super husband. I'm going to go above and beyond. If she needs a back rub, I'm going to give her one. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to go beyond what I should. And two times, and she doesn't even know she did it. 2 times in those 15 days, she said, Carl, you're a good guy. I don't think that's funny, because you know what it did to me? It said, hey, she recognizes what I'm doing. And you get those once in a while, but you don't always get them. But those 2, all she said is, Carl, you're a good guy. And wow, and we need to do more of that. We need to inspire people. And what I can say, I can give you all kinds of URLs for TED Talks and things. Everybody wants the following. Before we do this, I got to show you this. This is her fabulous prize. We're going to connect a stout ring here. Okay, so move your chair like this. You guys are all going to die because you didn't volunteer. No, you and I need to connect. Connect right here. Connect to your friend. And we'll connect all the way around. This is a stout connection. And then you need to grab the end of this. Grab the end. You won't get a shock. Well, no, go. Shh. Everybody listen. And if I let go, the light goes out. Watch this one. That's for you. Ask me where you get these. You can buy some from me right afterwards. They're right up here. She gets it for free. We need to connect to people. I just connected to myself. I can connect one-on-one. It's a tool that you can use. You got to have tools in your toolbox. Just saying things aren't going to get it. Okay, wants. Everybody wants this. I went to a 4-day silent retreat at DeMontreville. Can you imagine that, an ADD guy that doesn't get to talk for 4 days? All you did is listen to great speeches, and you prayed, and you read great readings, and it was one of the best things I ever did for me. You know, it was kind of cleansing my brain. But this was how, I got this from DeMontreville at this thing. It said, this is what everybody wants. And if you're not getting along with someone, or if you know some employees that aren't getting along, I'm going to bet you're going to find it in this formula that I'm about to give you. Because see, wants equals U plus A squared plus I. And everybody wants this. You've got to give it to get it. This is what it stands for right here. The U stands for understanding. Everybody wants to be understood. And understanding means if you have a problem and you come to me, I don't tell you how to solve it. I work with you while you solve your problem. That's understanding. Nobody wants your advice. They want your empathy. They want your confidence in them. The A stands for allowances. You guys, I love my wife. I'm nuts about my wife. She drives me nuts. And I drive her just as nuts. Does anybody relate to this? Because we're different. And now we will stay married until we die, I believe, because she knows my weaknesses and I know hers, and we make up for them. My car says Energizer. That's my license plate if you see it. You want to know what hers says? Organizer. And Michelle knows what I'm talking about. They wouldn't come to me and ask for complex stuff, but they'd go to Kathy, okay? And what we have to do is we have to realize that everyone's different, and how do we make allowances for them? The next A, understanding, is appreciation. It's that showing people that they appreciate, doing the right thing. I like how you got up here and you thank the people that's the kind of stuff that we need to do. We need to recognize people when they do great things, or even little things. Appreciation is really important. Okay, then the I would be identity. Everyone's different. We're all dressed different here. Look at this. This kid paid 50. I had to get his picture in my slideshow. She knows who he is because he paid $50 for a haircut. I can't imagine paying $50 for a haircut, okay? All right? This girl, she came to school, and I'm the guidance counselor, and I registered her, and she's into goth. She has black lipstick, chains hanging, black eyeshadow, black clothes, and I thought, what are we getting into now? I judged her, and I had no right to do that. Her name's Rachel. 25 days later, I had her in class, and I was blown away. This girl has a sense of humor. This girl has intelligence. She has creativity. It's amazing. The last day of school, they had kids get up and say nice things about us when I retired. It was Karen Amison and I retired, and Rachel got up. She said, I like Mr. Olson because he treated me well no matter how I looked. Rachel has a white shirt that says, my black stuff is dirty. Okay. This lady has red hair. And she was an aide in our school, and she touched, her name was Kathy Davis, she touches more kids than anybody. She did. Because her hair's red, because her son's Morgan Davis, he played for the Badgers. This kid's like 6'7" and 350 pounds? He can barely fit through a door. Can I tell you what, though? If Morgan Davis was my son, my hair would be red, too. She has a red maple in her yard. That's her car, old line 75. Yeah. And we have to, if in fact, people aren't getting along or we're not relating, it's one of those three things. You're either not understanding them, you're not appreciating them, you're not making allowances for them, or you're not respecting their identity. And my wife knows this, because when we're not getting along, she say, hey buddy, start understanding a little bit more. Bring it this way. Because my wife knows the whole formula and she uses it on me, all right? So I know I'm getting to the end here. There's a lot more that I have to do. I like quotes. Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and understand. When you involve people, then you cry when you're retired. When you make it about us, not about me, but about us, it's great stuff. I like quotes. How about this one? This is the best learning is that which is self-discovered. We've got to do that. Carl Rogers. This is mine. Energizers are calisthenics of the mind. In order to have effective learning, you've got to activate the senses. I believe that you got to get them moving and going. All right. How about this one though? There are no original ideas. You steal and modify. All right. You get great ideas everywhere. Everywhere. I like this one too. The case theory says that you copy and steal everything. I don't care where you find it, but you want to use it. I'm going to do two things and we're done. You have to really, you guys are into, how about anybody do Myers-Briggs? True colors? Okay, yeah, okay, so these are these things where we try to get the right people on the bus. This is one that was done at Stanford, okay? And I used it with 7th graders, but I can use it with you guys. What you do is you figure out which 3 of these things are the most like you, and then rank them, 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Which 3 are the most like you? Should be able to do it pretty fast. And then we can judge your personality based on this, all right? Okay, did anybody pick number 1, the explanation point? Anybody pick that? That's education. You value education, really good. Number 2 is food. Food is very important. There's a lot left over. So, hey, number 3 is power, and number 4 is security. And I'm working with 7th graders, and power is all about leadership. What kind of leader do you want to be? Do you want to lead whether for security? They understand. They don't understand anything about FICA or any of those kinds of stuff. Anybody put number 5, the snowflake? That's money. You're in the wrong profession. Especially if you're teaching or doing public work, right? Hey, number 6 is family. Number 7 is creativity. How many people pick number 8? Raise your hand if you pick number 8. That's sex, okay? All right, good. Hear my voice pop once. Hear my voice pop once, twice, 3 times. Put your hand out like this right now. No. Good, better. Good, better. Good, better. Never let it. So your good is, better is. See, when with 7th graders, we put friendship there. But the whole idea is, what I would do this if I did a training for you guys, I would have people put down, what are the 3 that you like now that you know what they are? You always get some wise guy coach in the back that says, I got sex, money, and food. That's more, No. But the whole point is, if you have everybody stand up and say what they are, you're all going to be different. Because nobody's the same. And you can get a copy of this from me if you want it. I want to finish with this, okay? 2 things, actually. How old am I? You know, when you're 68, you get up in the morning, this is what happens. You got to grab your neck and go like that, okay? Plastic cup under the arm, all right? Hey, you want to get people's attention? This is so cool, all right? Let's say, no, you have a big board meeting, okay? And you go and say, gee, I didn't get my assignment done for the board because I slipped and fell at home and I hurt my arm and I really can't help you. That has nothing to do with what you're talking about. It has everything to do with the smile I just put on your face. I got that from Penn and Teller, okay? Actually, let me put it in my book. But I want to finish with this. The idea is 2 things. The idea is this. I didn't know you were going to have all this great food. So I stopped at McDonald's, and I asked for a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke. And you don't always get what you want, right? I think you have to tell people that maybe they didn't get the job, or they didn't get, this happens to all of us. And how do we handle that? See, I didn't get a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke, but I'm not disappointed because look what they gave me. They gave me this large straw, though. The kindergartners are wetting their pants right now. And the idea is, I get to talk to you, and I got my large straw. I'm going to tell you one quick joke. A rabbi, a Hindu, and a critic, because we have lots of critics in our world, are traveling across Wisconsin. Storm comes up. They pull into a farmer's yard. Wisconsin nice. The farmer says, you can't go on. You got to stay here. He said, there's only one problem. There's only room for 2 of you in the house. Somebody's got to sleep in the barn. Critics, and we all have them, never volunteer. Reads the paper. The rabbi and the Hindu sort of argue back and forth. Finally, the Hindu says, no, I'm going to do this. They get bedded down. He goes off to the barn to go to bed, and pretty soon there's a knock on the door, and it's a Hindu. He says, you guys, there's a cow in the barn. And according to my customs, and anyone with a brain in their head could see he was under stress, the rabbi steps right up. He's a level 5 person, says, I'll do this. You go. The critic. They get all bedded down. Pretty soon there's another knock on the door, and it's the rabbi. He says, you guys, there's a pig in the barn. The critic knows that he or she is the odd person out. Instead of stepping up big like we need him to, throws a fit, throws the paper down, kicks the cat. You guys are a bunch of whiners. Slams the door and goes to the barn. They get all bedded down. Pretty soon there's a loud knock on the door, and guess what? It's the cow and the pig. People, you can't let them win. You can't let them win. Some of the research says that it's called the 20-60-20 rule. There are 3 kinds of people who go to work, and in every organization, I don't care where you are, it's the 20. At the top, there's 20%, and it doesn't have to be 20, but there's a group of people at the top that are the movers and shakers. There's a group of people in the middle that can go either way. And there's a group of people at the bottom that they're never coming. And we spend too much time on them. We don't respect them. I had burned out teacher friends of mine, and what I would say to them is, one guy's name was John. I'd say, John, I don't know why you feel the way you do. You have every right to feel that way if that's the way you feel. I have some advice for you. Stay out of the way. You got to stay out of the way because, John, we're moving ahead. If you don't want to get on our bus, that's okay. That's okay. But you can't be following up the works. Be who you are, but we're moving ahead. And what we want to do is we want to move people so that you're more like 80-10-10, but you will always have the 10%. You will always have it. And that's just part of life. Put your hand out like this right now. Last thing I'm going to do. Do you know that computers don't, and I had more than this plan like I always do, and I know you guys want to get going. I would love to come to your place of business, do a training or a workshop. I can do a lot better than this. I've done a lot of work in schools. Right now we're redoing our website because we're going to try to do more corporate work. I'm actually doing a door company, and I'm doing some other things because I like this. You guys, we have some synergy, and I would like to do more work with it. If you would do me one favor, we have some stuff that we're selling up here. If you have a business card, if you'd leave it on that table, then we could make an email connection. I won't bother you very much, but I would just want you to let you know whenever we have a folder that we can send out, that kind of thing. But anyway, do you know that computers don't have a surname? Do you guys know that? But we feminized boats. At some point we said she's seaworthy. And I think if you think about it, the boat carries the cargo, women carry the baby. I think there's something to that. Computers come along, we don't know if it's he or she. So the HR people from these computer companies got their best female engineers, and you put them in a room, and you put their best male engineers in a room, and you said, when you come out with a rationale, whichever's the best rationale, that's what computers will be, him or her, henceforth. The female engineers said it should be him. And there's 4 reasons. Reason number 1, in order to get your attention, you got to boot them up. Reason 2, they have a lot of data, but they're still clueless. Reason C, they're supposed to help you solve the problem, but half the time they are the problem. Girls, you're going to love this one. As soon as you make a commitment to one, you realize if you waited a little longer, you could have got a better model. The male engineers thought it should be females. Reason number 1, nobody but the creator understands their internal logic, okay? Reason 2, the native language they use to communicate with other computers is incomprehensible to everybody else. Guys, you're going to love this one. Even the smallest mistakes are stored in long-term memory for later retrieval. And as soon as you make a commitment to one, you realize you're spending half your paycheck on accessories for it. And I had someone come up to me after I showed this one time and said, that's so sexist. Why are you doing it? I don't mean it's sexist. Are women different than men? Oh, are 60-year-olds different than 40-year-olds? We're all different. Your job is, who are they? Where are they at? And how can I take them from here to there? And you have to make those connections. Fun matters too, folks. It really matters. And I had the best time talking to you guys. Thanks very, very much. And I'd love to come and do something with you. And I can hang around afterwards. Email me if there's anything more that you wanted what I have. I'm leaving a lot out because I know you guys got to get going. Thank you very, very much.